Welcome to your mat. And an at home practice is pretty unique. There are many distractions that may be around, whether it's in your physical space or just to dos on the brain. So I'm excited to be here. It will hopefully be comforting since you are in your home, but equally a challenge. Something that I really love and appreciate about being at home is that there's no travel and there's also no like needing to rush out of that space that you'll cultivate here. So no rush to get back to your evening. You can take it like really nice and slow after class, and we'll settle in really slowly too. I'd like us to find a seat. And if you'd like to begin just cross-legged, and that's where you find comfort, you can begin there. Everybody else, if you're okay being on your knees, then you can place a block underneath the sit bones between the heels. You can also just rest your body with parallel thighs. Up to you where you begin. And once you get to a settling shape, rest your hands on your thighs. Take a moment to recognize the day for what it was. And then start to move into this evening part of class, this evening part of our day, where the activity of the day gets to settle and we can become like our truest form. While I was at work today, I work at a preschool, and the pipes froze. And explaining this to a group of 3-year-olds was interesting because they know water as this liquid that flows in their water bottle. But as we know, liquid can also form a solid and get tough. And then it can also become a gas, and it can get really fiery and light and airy. And today I'd like us to focus on that space of water where you pour yourself into a container, almost like you're pouring your breath into your body, and it takes the shape of the place that you put it. So go ahead and take it just a few rounds of breath filling and emptying, and just watch the natural flow. And as you begin to turn your attention to your breath and to your body, I'm going to read us a little poem by our friend Piglet from Winnie the Pooh. And he talks a little bit about this idea of water and the flow of life. Let's find a way today that can take us to tomorrow. Follow that way, a way like flowing water. Let's leave behind the things that do not matter and turn our lives to a more important chapter. Let's take the time. Let's try to find what real life has to offer. And maybe then we'll find again what we had long forgotten. Like a friend, true till the end, it will help us onward. The sun is high, the road is wide, and it starts where we are standing. No one knows how far it goes, for the road is never ending. It goes away, beyond what we have thought of. It flows away, away like flowing water. Just another breath or two here. Letting this idea flow with you throughout practice, moving with the force of breath and not trying to go against it, but moving the path of least resistance. And then the eyes can start to flutter open, or maybe the body, the soul, the heart needs to stay more internal. And you can keep the eyes shut if you wish. Your arms will fall by your sides. Sit up tall again in your spine, and then start to rotate the palms so that they flip forward up, and then point your thumbs towards the wall behind you and your pinkies forward towards the screen. And then reverse that motion. Your pinkies will start to flip, and you'll rotate your wrist and your arm all the way up to your shoulder. And go a few more times. Again, just like a little ripple in the water, you'll move your hands forward, and then you'll flip them and you'll move them the opposite way. Good. You'll keep going like this, using breath to connect you back to this moment. And anything that pulls you away, just move yourself back. Okay. Next time your hands flip forward, start to lift your hips directly above your knees. Sweep your arms above your head. Start to breathe in, move your ribs away from your hips, and then bring your fingertips to touch. Lean your body over to the right so that you stay even hip above knee, but stretch long through ribs, up into your elbow, and maybe even flip your eyes to that direction. Good. Use strength and use breath for one more cycle of inhale and exhale. And then we'll sit back up nice and tall. Widen your elbows, spread your palms, tuck your chin up into the sky, and lean back and into yourself. Good. As you breathe in, reach the hands back towards the sky, and then out to a T and land your wrist under your shoulder as you find a tabletop position. Once you get there, look forward, create a long spine, grip the fingertips to the ground beneath you, and then do the same with your toes. Tuck them back behind you. Good. Okay, from here, reach your right arm into the air. We're gonna do a couple teases. We'll breathe in, twist, gaze up to the right hand, and then swing your palm across the chest and underneath your armpit and slightly kiss the earth with your hand, and then reach it back up into the air. Good. You'll rise hand to sky, maybe follow gaze, and then tuck it back underneath and slightly tap the earth. One more time, lift it up, reach high, breathe deep. And then when you exhale, your hand will come under, your shoulder will tap earth, and your right temple will come to the ground, and you can extend your left hand forward in front of you. If you want some deeper expression, the hand in front can then reach up above you, and then top of hand to lower sacrum. Still rest your temple and take some breaths in and out through your nose. Beautiful, everyone. If the arm is tucked behind you, re-extend in front. Pull your fingertips so that the palm lands under your shoulder. Press into the earth. Re-extend your arm one more time. And then as you do, can you extend your right leg out to the side so that your chest turns towards your toes and your toes is facing the front camera? Good. Once you get there, then place hand back down to ground and move forward with your shoulders above fingertips, and then move back, hips towards your tucked toes, heel, and keep your leg long. Remember, toes are facing forward. So wherever your eyes are going, that is where your toes face to in your extended leg. Okay, move back forward, stack shoulders over wrists, and then swing your leg behind you. Follow it with your gaze as you curtsy and tap the toes. You'll create this like crunch through your left side body. Okay, come back, re-extend your leg out to the side. Again, you'll move forward, shoulders over fingertips, and then pull back, hips and heels align. Good. Move forward, come back. One more time, the leg is gonna curtsy back behind you. Follow gaze to heel, tap toes to earth. Create that C shape, bringing your left shoulder towards your left hip. And then bring both knees to the ground so they're cross-legged. You're in a cross-legged cat-cow. We'll move through belly and spine, lifting chest and gaze. And then exhale, pull your shoulder blades to your hip creases and tuck your chin to your chest. If the cross of the legs does not work, you can always uncross them instead. Okay, a couple times, belly drops, chest opens, good, and then reverse. Tuck chin to chest and pull your shoulders so that they're rounding forward. Good. Couple more times. Y'all look great. So good to see all of your faces tonight, even if it's through the screen. Okay, 2 more rounds. Breathing in, breathing out. Once again, just reconnecting to how breath is flowing through you. And then we'll uncross your leg so you can re-extend your foot. Place it next to your knee. Draw fingertips together. And then you can land here with your toes tucked underneath you and sit your hips back towards your heels. This is broken toe pose. Hands can be down by your sides. Good. 3 breaths. This is so good for the opening of the sole of your foot. Maybe even for the soul of the body. And when it becomes too much, take 1 more breath. Nice. And then find some relief. Bring your hips over your knees. Find your hands extended up into sky. Fingertips touch. Good. With your fingertips pressing together, this time lean over to the left side of the room. Your gaze can go to your right inner elbow. And find this opening through the ribs. Really affirm your core. As you stay tall in your spine, you'll breathe in and return to center. Good. As you exhale, widen your hands, your elbows, and then just bend back slightly. You'll pull your hips forward and shine your heart to the space above you. Good. Inhale, come back through center, grow tall. Exhale, place palms back down to ground. You have your shoulders and wrists stacked, toes tucked in the back. Good. Your left hand is going high into sky. 3 times, do a little tease of thread the needle. So your hand will weave under and then right back up into sky. Breath fuels the inhale and the rising. Your exhale will bring you low towards the floor and a little twist through the chest. Nice. Last one, your hand will go high with a breath in and then lower with a breath out, placing shoulder to ground, and then reach your extended hand up above you or reach your right hand back behind you. Rest your temple to the earth. Find a moment to reconnect to the breath with like a little restriction through the back of the throat, like a sensation of a vibration or a fogging of the breath, like a deep, victorious exhale. So that even though we're on mute, we can still breathe together. All right. Reach your arm back into sky, so unthread it. Place your right hand under shoulder, left hand into the air, and then your left foot is going to extend off of the mat. Remember, wherever the point of the head is going, the toes are going to face in that same direction. Okay, look up, find an opening here, and then press the hand back down to ground. Okay, tuck your back toe if it isn't in your right foot, and then go back and forth. So we're opening up through the inner thigh here. Nice. Okay, next time you come forward in table, swing your leg behind you and then curtsy it. Your foot can float. You can also tap toes. What we're looking for here is like a side stretch. So shoulder and hip in your right body are coming towards one another. And then re-extend your leg out to the side. Find one more time where you go forward and back, experiencing sensations somewhere in your body. And then when you land in table, you'll swing your leg back behind you, follow your gaze with your heel, and then tap your toes. Once you found that C shape, then your knees will cross. Good. Hands are underneath shoulders. Find a cross-legged position, and then cat-cow through your spine. Once again, if you need to uncross, if this squeezing of your inner thighs are just too much right now, we're just beginning, then find a regular tabletop to experience a wave-like motion through chest, through hips. 2 more rounds, breathing in, breathing out. Super. Okay, go ahead and come back. This time, if your legs are crossed, cool. If they're not, no big deal. Bring your fingertips towards your knees. Keep walking back, and your hips are going to sit to the earth. Once you get there, lean back, move your legs forward, and rise your hands out in front of you for boat pose. Good. Okay, boat, we can keep our fingertips to touch earth and squeeze shoulder blades. We can also lift them out in front of us. Okay, stay if you're being challenged, or if you want a little bit more, bring your hands behind your back, behind your skull. Y'all went there, you got it. And then bring opposite elbow to opposite knee so that both sides of the brain are talking as you cross through your midline. Good. Maybe even pedal out your feet like you're riding a bike. It's a little bit chilly during these evening hours, but beautiful, gorgeous sun during the day. Once you have found a little bike ride, then cross your feet, roll over your shins, come to a tabletop. We'll find ourselves in a traditional boxed shape. Okay, from here, your toes are going to tuck. Your gaze will be forward. And then find an activation through your core by lifting up just your knees off of the earth. Good. Keep your spine and gaze neutral so you're not looking up or looking down, but really long. And then keep your hips starting to lift. Keep a bend in your knees. Pull your chest back. Find downward facing dog. Okay. Play with the stance. Maybe you need to widen it or shorten it. Once you found a comfortable distance, move yourself through plank, bringing your shoulders over your wrist. Find heels over toes and a really strong core. Good. Then bend your knees, float your knees, find that tabletop, and then bring your hips up and back, down dog. We'll go one more time through this little wave. Bring yourself forward, plank, bend your knees, float your knees, and then pull your hips up and back. Chest goes towards thighs. We'll gaze to our thumbs and start to tiptoe forward so you land at the top of your mat. Once you've gotten there, welcome a bend. Sweep your chest and dangle your arms, swaying side to side. You're holding tension in your neck. Maybe find a little wiggle there. So beautiful. I could tell you're just flowing with what feels good, moving with the way. And then drop your hands down. Lift yourself up halfway. You'll pull your tailbone away from the crown. Once again, tighten core. And then exhale back down towards the thighs. Good. Roll your spine up, come to mountain. Find the palms reaching into the air, sweeping up above you. And then place your thumbs at your sternum. Find a mountain with Anjali Mudra. Good. Press between palms, rise back up into the sky. And then widen your arms and fold over your thighs, coming back down through a swan dive. Okay, step your feet back to a plank, one foot and then the other. From plank, cover your knees. Good, then drop them to earth. Bend your elbows and come to your bellies. Place your hips to the earth. Find your feet flat to the ground. Pick up your kneecaps. Squeeze elbows into your ribs. Gaze forward. Light pressure in your hands. Rise your chest. Find cobra. Gorgeous. Let's go a few rounds of this. Lowering down like a wave. Crashing onto shore. Inhale, roaring back up into the ocean. Crown to sky. Last one, fall. Squeezing elbows. Activating through legs. Breathing up and finding back bend through chest. Good. Lowering yourself final time. Your toes are going to tuck. Pull your hips to your heels. Find child's pose. Forehead can rest to your mat. Ujjayi, breath in and out through nose. Good. If you ever start to feel like anything in the body is beginning to freeze, really harness this breath. Heat it back up. Okay. Move forward. Come to table. Let's tuck the toes. Pick up your knees. Find your downward facing dog. Hips to sky. Walk to your thumbs. Breathe in. Lift up halfway. Breathe out, lower yourself back down. Bend into your knees, rise up through the spine. Find your palms coming into the air, connecting at the top. Right away, move your hands through thumbs through center and move your body back down towards earth. Fingertips are gonna graze the ground, or you can also prop them up on your height, whether you grabbed a water bottle or a block. It's up to you, but we're gonna reach our right foot towards the back of the mat. And then find yourself getting ready to rise your left hand into the air and twist towards your inner thigh. Nice. Gaze can follow the top hand. So we're turning towards our bent knee, continuing to fuel breath through every crack and crevice, from joints to muscles, even blessing the organs. Okay, from here, bring both hands to the inside of your left foot. Drop your back heel in and down. So toes are gonna face the long edge of your mat. Okay, start to lift up your left arm and right arm will windmill back behind you. So you're in warrior two. Gaze will go forward, down the long fingers. Put more depth into your front knee. And then lean back. So right hand to back leg, left hand up into sky. Maybe gaze to the ceiling. Okay, we're making this a motion. So let's go a little slow and then we'll speed it up. Pass through a reverse triangle by straightening your front leg. Good. Keep pulling back and stretching through the front line of the body. Then pass your arms through a triangle pose and keep tilting forward as you drop the hand to the inner shin. Nice. Okay, re-bend your front knee, find like extended side angle, and then return to warrior two. We'll keep going. Back hand to back leg, rise the top arm, straighten your front leg, and then tee your arms, slide your body forward, and then tick-tock your hands so the wrist and shoulders align. Last time, rebend front knee, extended side angle, maybe top arm goes up and overhead. And then take that momentum and lift your chest to warrior two. And then lean it back, straighten front leg. Beautiful. This time, hands are gonna cartwheel down. So you spin your back heel up and hands land to the inside of your left foot. From here, place the hands down to the ground. Step your left foot to downward facing dog. Option to stay, or if you want to keep this heat going, move your body forward to plank. From plank, drop your knees, belly comes to earth. Flatten your feet, engage your legs, breathe in, lift up through heart, crown of head reaches to sky. Exhale, tuck toes, hips can go through child's or right away, downward facing dog. Once you've made it back to down dog, walk yourself forward. Inhale, come up halfway, breathe breath into the spine. Exhale, lower back down. Rise the arms, come to a lifted position with the palms overhead connecting, and then exhale, pass through center, find yourself moving towards earth once again. This time, your left foot is going to reach to the back of the mat. Okay, keep your back heel lifted, left fingertips to earth, right hand into sky, turn towards your inner thigh. Good, keep breath. Amazing. And then your hands are going to come to the inner foot. The back heel is going to drop in and down. Windmill your hands up so that you land in a warrior two. Your chest and your hips face the long edge of your mat. Your hand will squeeze its fingers together as the gaze looks over the fingertips. And then to open up and engage this front thigh, turn your knee so that it's reaching towards the pinky edge of your foot, so everything in that line of leg lights up. Okay, and then we'll flow and move. Bring your left hand to the back leg, right hand to sky. And then move yourself through a triangle while straightening your front leg. And then moving your hands down. Slide your shoulders over the front leg and then stack your wrists. Good. Gaze maybe up to that top hand. Okay, a little quicker. Rebend your front knee. Good. Option to extend your left hand over the ear. And then flow, moving yourself through warrior two. Flow it back. Straighten your front leg. Take your hands, tick-tock them down through a triangle. Rebend the front knee, extended side angle. Good. One final time. If you don't have the pattern, we got this. One more. We'll reach our chest up, warrior two. Good. Take it back, peaceful. Straighten your front leg, reverse triangle. And then regular triangle. Pass your arms through center, slide them forward, and then down. Really strong side bodies here. Okay, hands are going to keep coming forward. Bring them to the inside of the right foot as you pop your back heel. Good. Step your feet to downward facing dog. Stay, take a breath, or move through vinyasa. Your shoulders and wrists will be in a line, your body in a diagonal. You can keep your knees lifted for this one if you'd like, and move yourself through a halfway chaturanga, and then extend through arms, flip over tops of feet. Your hips will stay floated in up dog or lower them to ground for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Rebend your knees, maybe drizzle your feet over to the right, get a little squish in the legs, and then other side. Bringing your heels over to the left and giving a little squish. Good. Breathe in, recenter yourself in down dog. Extend your right foot into the air. Look between your thumbs. Step your foot forward. Drop the back knee. Hands can either stay on earth or propped up on a little height. And we'll just go back so that the front leg straightens and your hands can either touch ground or extend back behind you. Good, we're getting our leg ready for a pyramid pose. Let's go one more time. Breath in, lift, extend arms, get depth in your front hip. And then exhale, hands come beside you. Float your chest and keep a little bend in your front knee to prevent any hyperextension. You guys look great. Okay, this time we'll bring our arms up. Good. Okay, the back toes are gonna tuck, and then can you lift yourself to a low lunge? If not, use your hands and then come up. Good. Okay, shift weight into that front knee. Your back leg's gonna come forward slightly and then dig the heel down. Bring your arms down by sides. Good, remember that opening we did with our arms and our chest earlier? That's gonna come in handy here. Bring your right hand up and overhead and then pat your upper back. Good, bring your left hand down behind you to your low back. Turn so you guys can see. And then start to make your way so that your fingers are coming to grab your sweater, your shirt. Maybe they make connection or they just rest somewhere. Remember, it's not about if your fingers are close to touching or if you're really far apart. It's more about how can you meet yourself where you're at instead of moving to grandiose goals, like using what you already have with you. Okay. And then move from there. Take one more breath, maybe grow depth in your front leg. Beautiful. You slowly release your arms. And then you're gonna straighten your front leg. Bring your hands up above you. Good. And then start to fold at your waist so your hands and your spine lean almost like a halfway. Squeeze your inner thighs. Bring your front heel and your back heel to magnetize. And then drop your hands towards earth. Good. If you need to shorten your pyramid or even put a pop in that back heel and a bend in your back knee to give yourself a little bit more moving room. If not, back heel plug down to earth, drop your chest. Good. Lift yourself up halfway. Rebend your front knee. Bring your hands to your hips and step your back leg to a one-legged mountain. Good. If you need to take a couple steps to get there, do. Once you're there, we're going to bring our back knee to meet the knee that's lifted. Let's go ahead and take it back first to a warrior three. Good. Hands can either come to earth for support or stay by your sides. Okay, with that back knee lifted, go ahead and kick your glute. Place your lifted leg to meet your standing knee. Good, like a Shiva. Good, we'll go again. Reach back, extend, a lot of balance here. And then press the front of your back knee to meet the back of your front leg. Good. Last one. Bring it back. Nice. Stay active in your glute by flexing your foot and then tuck your knees close together. Option to lift your left hand into the air. Just kidding. Lift your right hand into the air, the one where you're facing towards the standing leg. So it should be looking at y'all. Go ahead and do that and I'll correct you if I need to. But you guys look great. Moving towards the standing leg, almost like we did when we were twisting in our first pose. Okay, from here, re-extend your chest, lift up to one-legged, hands by your sides, find the top of your foot. We're gonna move towards a dancer pose. Once you have your foot, squeeze your knees together. You can stay here, maybe place your right hand on your heart. Okay, and then find your big thumb to meet your big toe. Start to hinge at your hips. Float your heart forward. Lift your back foot into your hand. And then move maybe into a dancer pose or variation of. As you breathe out, your back foot is going to curtsy behind your standing. Rise your arms. Good. Take your hand to connect around your left wrist and move into a side body stretch. And once you've calmed your breath, centered the mind, come through a mountain, feet together, hands by sides. Take a second to close down the eyes, maybe place hands on heart, connect to heartbeat, and maybe feel a little bit of the steam that you turned your water to, a little heat, and allow yourself to enjoy all forms, but move yourself back towards cool. We'll have one more side to move and flow through. And instead of focusing on where we're going or how fast the pace is, just drop into what that pose has to offer. How can I cool off once I get steamy and hot? And how can I warm up if I become harsh and resistant? Good. Let's reset through a vinyasa. Your hands will come down by your sides and up into sky. Once palms connect, slide everything through center, hinging at your hips and forward folding. Place the hands to the ground, step the foot back to meet the mat. You're in a plank pose. Drop your knees or keep them lifted, find chaturanga. Then breathe in, move your chest through up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, reconnect, and then lift your left leg to sky as you breathe in. Breath out, place your foot between your thumbs. Drop your back knee. Good, inhale, lift to a low lunge. As you exhale, move your hands down by your sides, float your chest and extend your front leg. You can also drop your hands to little tents for support. Good. Move back through low lunge, deep hinge in front hip. And then exhale, deep stretch through front hip rather, and then exhale, stretch through your hamstring. Your front toes flex. Good, micro bend in your knee. Beautiful. Breath in, move through low lunge with those back toes tucked. Lift your back knee off of the earth. You can always use your hands for support. Okay, find strength of your own. And then walk your back foot in and then dig the heel down. So your feet are in two separate lanes. Okay, rest your arms down by your sides for a moment. Before we add the arms, just really get deep focus in the legs. It's like we're building blocks. Let's make sure the foundations are strong. Feet are in separate lanes, front knee bent, chest and shoulders face that front leg. Good, and then go ahead and rise the arms. Your left hand is coming to your upper back. Your right hand is coming to your lower back. Nice. If you need to, you can connect your hands there at center or just pull opposite elbows in opposite directions. Once your breath has recentered, release your arms and then straighten your legs. Pull your hands above your head one more time. Feel here the inner thighs reaching together and then start to hinge and extend your body so that it's like floating halfway. Good. Now, at the same time as you're pulling your heels apart, pull them together and then lower your hands on either side of the leg. You can forward fold in towards yourself. Another way to make this more accessible is blocks on hands or a pop in the back heel and a bend in the back knee. And then you have like more of like a springboard to bounce off of. Okay. Once again, let any minds that, or any thoughts in the mind that might ripple and bleed to another, to just pull back to center. Its original space. And then we'll fall our hearts closer to our chest, or fall our hearts closer to our thighs, and then inhale, lift halfway, chest away from leg. Good. Rebend your front knee, and then the back leg is coming in and up as you stand in a one-legged mountain. When you arrive, place hands on hips or hinge and allow the hands to float to the floor, because you're coming to a warrior 3, either floated or supported. Okay? Turn your toes to flex towards earth so that your inner thigh like internally rotates. Nice. Okay, support or balance, press your knees together by bending your standing and your floated leg. Good. Re-extend back behind you. Okay, again, bend both knees. Amazing work for those legs. And then re-extend. Last one. Place it, curtsy it behind you. And then your right fingers can come to earth or float as your left hand goes into sky. Gaze can follow. So once again, you're turning towards your standing leg. Nice, everybody. Really deep balance. Okay. And then as you come back up, your hands can float to sky. Bring your knee back towards your chest. And then face your palms beside you. Pull your front foot towards your back glute, and the knees come in towards one another. Okay, hands can be placed on your heart, and then match your big toe and your thumb. And then you can just stay or work towards a dancer pose by moving your chest forward. Then pushing your foot into your hand and finding an expansive shape through back, through heart. And then when you're done, you can let go, take your leg that's balancing, stay there, and the foot that's lifted, curtsy behind you. Good. Get a little buoyant in your knees. Pull your hands together. This time, grab your right hand around your left wrist, and then pull towards the right side of the room. Keep channeling breath here. And almost like you're a curve in a river bend, you're just going with the curves. And then breathe in, lift back up, find center, mountain. Your choice, hands by sides, or like plugged in and connected to heart. Some may say the home of the soul. And as you are in your home, and as you maybe cultivate or begin an at-home practice, how can you set yourself up for success? Maybe it's making your favorite tea as you come to the mat, or even just leaving your mat open as an invitation. Maybe it's giving yourself something afterwards as a reward, or simply being here is the reward. Take one more collective breath together, and a collective sigh out through mouth. Your hands can then fall down by your sides. Of course, if you're ready just to crawl down towards the mat, you may. If you want to do it with like a formality, with a discipline, we will go through a vinyasa, bringing your hands towards air. Once the palms connect, fold and slice yourself in through center and in half, bringing yourself to the ground with your fingertips. Good. Press your feet back to a plank. From your plank, bend your elbows, maybe drop the knees, chaturanga, and then inhale, lift up, up dog. Exhale, pull yourself up and back, down dog. Reach your right foot into the air. Pull your knee into your chest, and then land your right knee next to your right wrist. Swing your leg off towards the side. Land your ankle and behind your left wrist. Good. We're setting up for pigeon. Your back foot can reach towards the long edges of your mat. If you have a support of a block or a blanket, or maybe you're just ready to like float in space but melt at the same time, you can tuck something under your tush. Okay, walk your hands back so that your muscles can feel the pulling in together to hold you up. And then start to relax those muscles by walking your hands forward, coming to forearms. If you have a bolster, you can lay your chest on a bolster. One thing I always like to do is peek behind my shoulder and make sure my toes and heel are in one line. And for a few moments of breath, let's be here. Continue to work with what you've got. These legs, this heart. And this beautiful, creative mind. Take your time and slowly start to lift yourself up. We'll offer just one more little playful variation if you'd like. Otherwise, maybe just stay in the form you're at. If you want to look behind your right shoulder, start to kick your heel towards your glute. And maybe this is where you stay, just like a little gaze, a little playful float of the shin. Or you can take your right arm, reach it back, and maybe make a connection. Again, we're twisting towards our right leg, the leg that's in front. And experience this where you do. And then come on out. Toes will tuck to earth. Bring your hands forward in front of you. Lift your knee, lift your hips, come to down dog. And again, another opportunity for like a little pedal of the feet, maybe a drop of the heels, a dip of the hips, whatever you want to do to sort of like wiggle that movement out. Could even be like a tabletop and like a rotation of the hip in the joint, the leg in the hip joint. Good. And then lift your left foot into the air to follow. Pull your knee in towards chest, left knee towards left wrist. Swing your shin out to like a diagonal or horizontal shape. Flex at your foot and land it behind your right wrist. Walk your back leg out. Toe and heel are in one line. And walk your fingertips closer to the body so you just get a little lift. Good, almost like a proud statue. Though ice sculptures are quite beautiful, it can feel good to start that melting process. So begin that now by bringing and dropping forearms and chest. And look at this part of our practice as a complementary to all of the movement and maybe the steam that was built. Maybe the body did feel some resistance, and that's expected. But now, as class begins to close, how can the droplets of water find an easier way? When New Year's comes along, sometimes we have pretty ambitious goals. And before we try to reach them and tackle them, I think it's so important to take note of what we already have and how we're already working towards those things. So use what you have instead of trying to change water into wine. Let the water be water. Take a final breath. Maybe move through the entire cycle. A pause in between. And then shift yourself up. And take a little kick of the back foot to your glute. Gaze back behind you. Find left hand to either reach in that direction or maybe make a connection. Beautiful rise of the chest and the head. A twist through the body. And then start to drop and make your way to a down dog. Final inverted V position with those back toes tucked. Lift your knee, bring your hips to sky, step your feet together. Take a wiggle if you need to. And drop your knees towards earth. Bring your belly flat to the floor. Draw your hands down by your sides. Pick your chest, pick your legs, pick your feet off of the earth. Find a proud, floated chest, only balancing on hip pointers. And then take your shoulders back to earth, stack your palms, rest your forehead. Maybe kick your feet and rotate them in a circle. Like a fully melted sculpture. Let yourself fall like a puddle to the ground. If you're okay with ending practice here on your belly, do so. If you need to flip over, you may. And breathe with earth. I like this belly position so you can really feel the feedback of breath moving through your container. We'll take a few moments here in our final resting pose. Allow yourself to start returning, allowing a reawakening of the senses. Maybe begin intuitive motions in the body. And you are at home. So if you don't want to end this Shavasana yet, stay. If you do want to move into a seat, take your time. Your hands can layer over your heart. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. Continue to be with this cycle, this season of winter, and allow times for all forms, active, lazy, and just content. And just like the flow of water, stay simple, stay movable, and content. Thank you all so much for sharing your night. My love to all of you. And we'll probably be here again next week because the cold will continue for at least a week or two. So check on socials. And truly, truly, I feel so honored that you chose to spend your time and keep the routine. Collins Quarter is continuing to sponsor this time that we've all created a routine around. So again, show them your love and appreciation. And thank you all so much for making this possible and happen. There would be no yoga without you guys. So thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evenings. We'll see you guys here next week, same link. And I can't wait. Namaste.